Welcome back, fans, to yet another edition of Cabo Hot Stove. And I'm here with my esteemed colleague, Mr. Stephen Burgess, and of course, I'm Mr. Chris Lederer. And we're here to talk about, well, really, what else? The Leafs. And so, I'll start out. Well, actually, I'll let you start with the first question, Steve.
Well, Chrissy, before we start, let's actually get a word from our sponsor first, who is Cerveza Indio.
If you want bad beer in Mexico, Cerveza India.
So, Chrissy, first, who would be the best team in the NHL right now?
Well, you know, you have to kind of look coast to coast, and really north of the border is where it is, I'm afraid, and it starts really in hockey's heartland, Toronto. And we've got TML, Toronto Maple Leafs, second place in the league in points, first place in win percentage. It's really quite a no-brainer. Toronto Maple Leafs.
No doubt. So you want to ask me something?
Well, I think when you kind of go to those, you kind of start looking at the best teams. You want to kind of see what those teams are made of, and you have to ask yourself, well, who would be the best player in hockey at this moment, right now? And I might ask you that question.
Well, Chris, that's a great question, but it's a no-doubter. It'd be number 81, Phil Kessel. Leads the league in points, leads the league in goals, is second in plus-minus just because of his teammates. This guy is unbelievable. He's leading TML to the cup.
Hey, I'm not going to argue with that. And let's face it, he's just lighting it up. He's just teasing us with his goal-scoring prowess.
The guy's unbelievable.
You know, 12 goals in 16 games. I think he might step up a notch in the playoff run, and you know, could be a threat for 65, 70 goals.
No doubt about it. We'll have to see how his teammates do. All right, actually, a special portion of the show right now, Chris, based on our Twitter page, Home Stove or Hot Stove #, whatever. We've got a question. What has changed to make Phil Kessel the best player in the league over the summer? What has he done?
Well, you know, I thought long and hard about this, and I'm glad our viewer Lisa has asked this question. And, you know, what really has changed since April for Mr. Phil Kessel? And I think it's the three B's. He took out the beers, the burgers, and the bratwurst. Plain and simple. We're seeing great strides made. He's showing great flashes of speed, and he's got that dexterity back because he's not drowsy from pounding back a couple wimpies before the game.
I guess we're on to our last question, Chrissy. What do you say?
Yeah, you know, I think it's time for to wrap it up with a fun fact and a little discussion point. So, if we were T-minus 5 hours from game time, and Phil Kessel was here in Cabo, and the game was at the ACC, would he be able to get back in time for the game if there was a trail of ice directly to the ACC?
Quick point of clarification, Chris. Is he skating with the puck or without the puck?
Does it really matter?
Well, you're right. It really doesn't matter. But he would get there a lot quicker with the puck.
I tend to agree.
Yeah, and he definitely beat us. There's no doubt about that. He would have scored 3 goals by now by the time we get home.
Yeah, I guess the real question is how many times does he go top cheese when he flies through Wisconsin? Well, I guess we'll wrap it up with that, Steve. And you know, again, we'd like to thank our corporate sponsor, and thank you, the fans, for making this the most watched show in hockey. So you fans be good, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next edition of Maple Leaf Hot Stove.